Hello, my name's James White, and I've got the great pleasure of leading Mentell, a men's mental health charity based in the northwest of England, but supporting men right across the country. I want to thank you for being here, and it feels particularly appropriate because today is World Suicide Prevention Day. And for us at Mentell, it isn't just a date in the diary. It's a real reminder about why our work matters. Suicide remains the leading cause of death for men under the age of 50. Every one of those deaths is preventable, and every one of those men deserved a safe place to talk before reaching crisis. And at Mentell, we create that space. We run free, confidential peer-to-peer support groups, which we call circles. 10 of these circles are in person, and we also have an online option for men who are unable to join or prefer Zoom. Men come together for a 2-hour session where they're guided by highly trained volunteer facilitators. And these facilitators are Mentell members too. There's no judgment, there's no pressure, it's just a chance to be heard. And for some men, it's the first time in years they've spoken openly. For some, it might be the first time they've ever done it. And the circles run according to a set of core principles, and our offering has evolved over the years based on feedback from our members. And since we started in 2017, over 6,300 men have self-referred to Mentell. Last year alone, there were more than 4,000 attendances at our circles, supported by almost 100 of those trained facilitators. Our community campaigns, like Turn Your Bar Blue, run in nearly 900 pubs across the UK. Our community team will go in and speak to pub management, explain about Mentell, and ask that for one week each month, Mentell beer mats like this one are displayed, as well as our posters and also our business cards for men to discreetly slip into their pockets to refer to later. Incredibly, more than a quarter of our members come to Mentell through those beer mats. Small interventions can sometimes change and indeed save lives. But behind each of those numbers is a very human story. Men like Tom. He came to Mentell after losing his job during the pandemic. After his first circle, he said, "I thought I was the only one struggling. And tonight I realised I'm not alone." And that really resonates with me personally. So a couple of years ago, I had a heart attack at the age of 40. It was really unexpected. And I really struggled with health anxiety afterwards. And when I went to my first Mentell circle, I took great comfort from the fact there were a couple of other men dealing with health challenges of their own. There's other men as well, of course. Some might be dealing with job loss or divorce, childhood trauma or loneliness. There isn't a single story. We've got men like Mike in his 40s, divorced, feeling adrift. A friend gave him a Mentell business card, and 2 weeks later he joined his first circle. Afterwards, he told us, "Those couple of hours, they gave me a little hope." So the reasons are unique, but the truth is the same. Every man needs a safe space to talk. And the final example, Liam, a young man from the northwest. He hadn't ever accessed mental health support. He didn't think it was for him, and how many men would say that? But his local barber, part of our Turn Your Barber Blue initiative, gave him a flyer. And later Liam told us, "I don't know if I'd still be here if I hadn't found Mentell when I did." And we've got nearly 150 stories like that, where men have said that were it not for Mentell, they wouldn't still be here. So I've just shared a few illustrative examples, but there's clearly something much bigger at play. Men from all walks of life are facing challenges, but as a society, we aren't yet doing enough to prevent men from reaching crisis point. But imagine if we could do this. Imagine showing policymakers the real human impacts behind our numbers. Imagine employers, NHS leaders and government officials clearly seeing how peer-to-peer support prevents crisis and saves lives. Well, this is how you can come in. We want to understand those journeys, not just the numbers, more powerfully. To learn from the lived experience of the men who sign up to Mentell and attend our circles. What has brought them to Mentell? What are the issues they're dealing with? And who are Mentell currently failing to reach? Once we understand more about the men we're helping, how we're helping them, and where the gaps are, we'll be able to use this information to not only inform our own service delivery, but also to take the findings to decision makers and demand that they're acted upon. But to do this, we're going to need your help. And the truth is, we have a lot of the data. We've got thousands of stories sitting in our system, but right now, to a large extent, they're locked away. But for around £12,000, we can change that. That's a figure that would cover 6 months of dedicated staff time to explore the member journeys. It'll fund the tech, video storytelling tools, and real-time registers in every circle, synced with our CRM. And it'll allow us to bring in expert consultancy so the system works smoothly and sustainably. It's a relatively modest investment, but one that will ultimately transform raw numbers into powerful stories that can inspire, influence, and save more lives. Your support will make that possible, helping us to shift the national conversation on men's mental health, ensuring that every man, wherever he lives, has access to a space to talk. So, on World Suicide Prevention Day, thank you for standing shoulder to shoulder with Mentell. Together, we can ensure no man has to suffer in silence. Thank you for your support.